Hey, y'all. On this episode of Social Takeoff Podcast, we're going to talk about how you can keep the momentum going in the wave season. The wave season for travel professionals is that first quarter of the year where you book so much of your travel, but you don't want to see that come to an end at the end of this month. And what I know is you have everything that you need to keep the momentum going and to keep booking. So if you want to learn how to extend your wave season by marketing your business, keep listening. Welcome to the Social Takeoff Podcast, a podcast for travel professionals who are ready to use social media to help their business take off. I'm Kelly Hay-Smith, your host. I'm travel agent turned social media marketer who now works with multiple seven-figure travel agencies to help them infuse strategy and create a target social plan. I'll be sharing all of the tips and tricks of the trade, as well as content ideas and trends that you should be using to help grow your travel business. Let's get started. Okay, y'all. So it is March. I know last week was March 2. No, it wasn't. March wasn't until Wednesday of last week. My bad. So I know it is March, which means spring break season. And for me, that is happening this week as well. And so we're trying to get all the things done in preparation for spring break. So if you hear YouTube coming from outside my office door where I'm recording this, it is called Work From Home Mom Life. And my 5-year-old is listening and watching YouTube on the downstairs TV so that I can actually get this stuff recorded for y'all. So, just bear with me. It's just called Work From Home Mom Life. I know what you know. I know you know what I'm talking about. But let's talk about that even further. Let's talk about that work from home mom life and really what it is going to do for your business to extend wave season. So, okay, I said it in the opening and I'm going to say it again. If you don't know, if you're new to the travel industry or you've never heard of this before, the first quarter of the year, which is January, February, March, in the travel industry is known as wave season. What happens is so many people want to book their travel for the year in January, February, and March. First off, people are getting tax refunds back, which is part of the hubbub and the rush that goes with it. But also part of it is where the holidays are behind us, which feels really weird to say because it is now March and like I see trees budding, but that's just the truth. The holidays are behind us and we're ready to look forward to the year. And so they're planning, hopefully it's not spring break, but they're planning summer vacations and fall break and next Christmas vacations and everything in between. And everybody wants to get in. And I know from my clients, they are slammed. 2 of my clients that I know of have had record sales more than they have ever had in their entire time of being business over the last couple months. And that is massive. And it just shows you what wave season will do for you. But here's the thing. I also have talked to them and I just finished up strategy calls. I have one more strategy call Wednesday. And everybody is like, but we want to keep it going. Well, yeah, of course we do. And there are some ways that we can market our businesses to keep the momentum going from wave season. And here's the thing though. You're going to be surprised because I am not getting ready to tell you that then you can post A and post B and do this and do that. No. What I am going to tell you is I want you to take what you've learned in wave season to market your business differently going forward. And that's how you're going to increase the momentum. And we're going to talk about what you've learned and how you're going to use that in your marketing. Yes. But I'm not going to say that completely because I don't script anything out because if you have listened to me for any amount of time, you know that I just like to talk about what I do. But I did write down a couple things. And the first thing I wrote down was maintain consistency. That's the only tactical step. If you have been really consistent throughout wave season because you knew it was wave season and you wanted to capitalize on that, don't drop down on your consistency because it's no longer wave season. So yes, that's important. Or if you weren't consistent during wave season because you were booking and quoting and all of those things too much, get consistent. because while the wave season may technically be over and there aren't as many like clients banging down your door, the consistency is going to pay off more. So yes, that is one tactical step. And I will consider, and listen, I follow very few social media people. I'm very particular in who I follow. And the first thing you need to know that posting consistently and the right hashtags and creating reels or TikToks, doing those or showing up every day, that is not a guarantee to grow your business. I know. I'm the social media manager here, and I don't even like to call myself a social media manager. I'm a content strategist here to tell you that posting consistently alone is not going to help grow your business, your brand authority, or anything else. But what is going to help is when you create a strategy and then create consistent content that supports the strategy. So yesterday, from when you're listening to this, I posted first off, please go look at the post that I posted yesterday on my Instagram because it went up and there are some typos on it. Guess what? I didn't change them. I promise you, if you hire me to be your social media manager, somebody looks at content for spelling and grammar errors other than me. Nobody looks at my content but me. And it's very obvious that that is not my strong suit. I'm a creative, not a grammar police. So there's that. They're there. They're still there. But the content in it is bomb. It is the 3 questions that you have to answer before you can create a content strategy. And I stand by that. And we're going to expand on that today. So when I say what kind of marketing can you do to extend your wave season, what I want you to do is, if you're listening to this while you're driving, then you're going to have to save it. Keep listening. Don't turn it off, but save it and come back and listen to it when you can write some things down, because this is going to be a note-taking episode. Sorry, y'all. It's who I am. It's in my DNA, I think, and I can't change it. This is going to be a note-taking episode. What have you learned during wave season? What is the information that you've gathered? Let's break down some of the questions that you can answer, and then we'll talk about how to use those answers in your marketing, okay? So who is booking with you? So also next week, we're going to talk about niche and specialties. So come back for that, and it's going to give you some more insight onto this question, but you should know your ideal client. Who is your ideal client? Who is booking with you? That also, I'm going to say this until the cows come home. And that is, yes, a Southern way of saying forever and ever. Amen. I am going to say this until the cows come home. Y'all, your ideal client, you don't need to know their name. You don't need to know what car they're driving. You don't need to know what their Starbucks order is. What you do need to know is how they're feeling. And that's my next point. Who is booking with you? Okay, so let's say that it is busy moms. Busy moms. They're running their kids to carpool, and you should know this from the clients that you have booked in wave season. If you don't know who they are and what their life looks like, then you better get on that real quick, because the only way you can continue to market your business is to know who it is that you're working for. So let's say that it's a busy mom. She's taking her kids. She's like spending her mornings in Carline with her robe on and a coffee mug. And then she's running them to 15 different after school events, and she's showing up for PTA bake sales, and she's getting the teachers' gifts in order. Let's say that's who you're planning, okay? But I want you to think about the next question is, what are they feeling? Now, I don't mean what are they they're feeling overwhelmed in life in general. Sure, they're tired, sure. But I mean, what are they feeling in regards to vacation planning? What are they feeling in the vacation that they want? Maybe this is defined as they're feeling overwhelmed because there's too many choices. They're overwhelmed because they don't know if they can afford what they want to do. They are frustrated because they watch YouTube and read blogs from Pinterest, and it's conflicting opinions. Maybe they're frustrated because they want to go to Disney World and there's nothing about boys at Disney World. It's all about princesses. And they don't know, is their boy going to have a good time? Like, they don't know. Maybe they're feeling overwhelmed because they want to go on their first cruise and they don't know if they need a passport or what travel documentation do they need or what kind of stateroom they have. Like, what are they feeling? What questions are they asking you as you go through this booking process? If as they fill out your pre-qualification form, now you're building a proposal. After you send them proposal, what questions are they asking you? Well, is a park hopper ticket really necessary? Do I need to prepay gratuities? Should I go ahead? Should we book excursions before we go on or not? Should I take excursions at every port? Do all the kids need a passport? How long's that going to take? Like, what questions are they asking you about the trips that you're quoting? What are they interested in? What did you put on your proposal that they are loving? If they're going to Disney World, are they loving Pop Century because it's on the Skyliner? Are they loving the Contemporary because it's on the monorail? Are they loving Disney's Wish because they have the Marvel restaurant? Are they loving Sandals or Beaches, Turks and Caicos because of whatever? Like, what are you proposing that they are getting excited about? Okay. What are they unsure of? What are you putting on your proposals that they're not quite sure if that's right? But also, let me take a step back before that. Before they even get the proposal, they like contact you. You get a call or an email or an Instagram message or a Facebook message, and they're like, I think we've been thinking about going on a cruise, but my youngest is 5. Do you think that's too young for them to go on a cruise? Do you think they'll even enjoy it? Or are they like trying to figure out, like, we're not sure what we want to do. We know we want to go someplace tropical, but we're not sure if that's going to be a cruise or an all-inclusive resort. Should it be Mexico or the Caribbean? We're just not sure. What about people who what are they unsure of? What are you hearing them say over and over again that they're not sure? What's the tipping point? If you have someone who says, I want to take we think we would like to do a cruise, but I'm afraid my 5-year-old is too young. What are you saying to them about that? How is that message coming across? How are you managing that objection, handling that objection? Okay. And what are they excited about? I know that like goes back to what are they interested in, but after they're booked, and please go back and listen to the old podcast. It's not old, but I mean, a few weeks ago, the Beyond the Booking podcast. When I use the word book, I am talking of a process, not your service. Don't ever talk about your service in the form of booking. Go listen to that podcast if you're not sure why. But anyway, I am talking about booking in the process, the process that you do to complete that. So after you complete the booking process for them and you begin the planning process, what are they excited about? What are they excited to plan? What emails have you sent them or options have you sent them that they're like, ooh, this looks fun? What stuff? Listen, I was a travel advisor. If you did not know that about me, I am now in marketing. I'm a content strategist, marketing expert for travel professionals, but I used to be a travel agent. And I know that once I booked someone, process, not service. Once I booked someone, they would send me, God help me, Facebook group posts or blogs or YouTube videos or stuff where they're like, ooh, can you tell me more about this? Ooh, can you tell me more about this? Ooh, we want to do this. Ooh, we definitely want this. What is it that you are seeing them want to do after they have completed the booking process? Okay, what do you do with all the answers? If you have written down, let's say, 10 to 12 statements out of those questions, how many questions is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 questions. If you have written down at least 2 statements for each one of those questions, that's 12 topics, not 12 pieces of content. If you don't know how to turn topics into pieces of content, you make sure that you're following me on Instagram because I actually created a post about that'll come out this month. But those are topics. Those can be reels. carousel posts, pictures, live videos. You can talk about it in your stories. And you can do all of them not at the same time, but you can do all of them over and over again, right? You have multiple topics to talk about. If you just wrote down 2 statements, and I hope you wrote down more. I think I said way more than 2 statements for each one of those. But what sets that marketing apart from simply posting tips and tricks and strategies, right? Which are important. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. When you know these are the things that your people that are booking with you, they're your ideal clients, they're already warm market. These are people that you are booking for. They are interested in this. These are the things that directly impact them. You're not guessing about what they want to learn about or what they're concerned about. You have the facts, you have the information gathering data to back that up. So now you talk directly to them. The thing is, when you have an ideal client, their worries, their desires, their struggles, how they're feeling, it tends to be very similar. Of course, there are some things that are going to differ, but it tends to be very similar. And so your ideal client, then now you have all of these questions. You can go create content that speaks directly to those questions, and they feel like you are talking to them. Oh my gosh, she gets me. Yes. Yes. Here's the kicker. This is the last part of building your content from these questions that I want you to do. We talked about what are they interested in? What are they excited about? They send you a YouTube video about building a lightsaber at Walt Disney World, okay? So you're going to create some posts about some of the things that they sent you. Cool. What you have to remember, every single piece of content that goes out into the world should include your UVP or unique value proposition. Your unique value proposition is what sets you apart, whether it's a deliverable or an insight or way of thinking. Something comes back to you. Your UVP is part of your offer or your service. So what stands out uniquely for you in the service you provide based on that content? So using the example of, let's say we're talking about Savi's workshop, building a lightsaber at Walt Disney World. Let's say that's what we're talking about, okay? If that's what we're talking about, and I am creating a post about that because I have had 4 or 5 clients who are really excited about it. I'm creating some content about it. What you want to make sure is included in that post is something that's specific to you. You don't just tell them where to make the reservation and how to make the reservation, okay? You want to make sure that you do something to the effect of, if this or experiences like this excite your family, that's not good words. That just came off the top of my head, so it's not good words. But you know what I mean? If this is something your kid would find cool, make sure you let me know during the planning process. I will handle making the reservations for you so you don't have to remember, get up early, or worry about it. I'll make sure everything's handled for you. That brings that whatever tip, insight, piece of information that you are creating, it brings it back to how your service is of value in that topic. Okay? The other piece of the puzzle that I want you to hit home in when it comes to extending wave season, one of the biggest disconnects that happen, and it's during wave season too, but one of the biggest disconnects that happens is that people don't understand the value of your service because they can do it on their own. They can Google, they can Pinterest, they can YouTube. What you want to do also in your content is make sure that they know and understand that that when you create this content, When you, sorry, okay, lost my train of thought. Hold on. What you need them to understand is you've created this post, and it's general but specific, right? It's specific to a certain extent, but it's still generalized. That part of the service you offer is creating that custom experience for them. And so making sure that your readers, your followers, your potential clients understand that while they can DIY a vacation from blogs and YouTubes and Google research, what they won't ever get is someone who will custom create an experience for them unless they're booking one-to-one with someone. And that is what you do. Okay. It's the same thing of me giving away a ton of content information and how to build a content strategy. It's the same thing of me posting tips and tricks and information about content strategy and stuff on my Instagram. I'm not worried about giving away too much because if you want to DIY it, you can try. But my offer is the custom content strategy that works specifically for your business because it's not one size fits all. And the content that you are putting out into the world, while it's specific and you're giving valuable, great insight and information, it's still to an extent general information because maybe they want to put together all of like are great, but they also want to do they also love Woody's they love Toy Story, and so now you want to add in Woody's Roundup or whatever. You are custom building a vacation for them. It's a custom experience. They can DIY it and use this generalized information, or they can work with someone who is building a custom experience for them. So make sure that you in some way the word. What word am I looking for? In some way, you not reiterate. In some way, you portray. I don't know. We're gonna go with it. Just go with me, y'all. In some way, we're gonna portray in our content that when you plan your vacation with me, this experience and so many others I put together to create a custom vacation for your family. And so now you have this information and this data to back up what people want in planning their vacation. What types of content people are going to be interested in because you know what's on top of people's minds. Okay? But you also understand the importance of bringing all of that content back to highlight the value of your service, and that you need to highlight the fact that while these are great pieces of information, if you want a more custom vacation experience, you can only get that through planning one-to-one with me. And that is how you're going to use what you've learned during wave season to keep the momentum going and extend it. Y'all, I hope you have learned something. I really want to see. So I try to tell y'all something to do every time. And I want you, if you took notes on this episode, I want you to put them on your stories. You know, like you can cover them up if you don't want people to like steal your ideas. I get it. But like I want you to put them on your stories and I want you to tag me at Kelly Hayes Smith. And let me see the notes that you took because I'm really pumped to see what you all are doing with this. Let me know how it helped. Make sure you leave me a review. That really helps me to keep coming back and creating more content just like this for you guys. And one more thing, if you are a member of the Careers on Vacation community, if you didn't know, I am an expert and the marketing lead for the Careers on Vacation community. If you are a member of that community, I am going to be hosting myself along with Jennifer from Wonderlust Social. We are going to be hosting an event next month in Orlando at the COV headquarters in Orlando, where we're going to be taking you to Disney's Magic Kingdom. And I am going to be debuting a new concept that I am coming out with. We're going to walk through building a content strategy, talking about your client journey, and how all of that plays into the content that you capture. And when you leave that event, you're going to have at least 1 month of content created, written, and you're going to have the ability to schedule it. And I'll be right there with you, helping you capture the content at Disney's Magic Kingdom and then helping put it all into play moving forward. So if you need more info on that, you can DM me on Instagram or check out your COV group. The info will be in the Careers on Vacation Mastermind group, the COV grad group, as well as the Wonderlust CEO group. So if you have any questions, just reach out. I'm super pumped about that. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your week and make sure you check out Friday's episode of 5 Things Friday. I had someone jump in my DMs about a topic that I'm really excited to do, to break down as one of my 5 things this Friday. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. Make sure to leave us a review below and come find me on Instagram at Kelly Hay Smith and let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Make sure to check back every Friday for a bonus episode, 5 Things Friday, and every Tuesday for a brand new episode. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. Make sure to leave us a review below and come find me on Instagram at Kelly Hay Smith and let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Make sure to check back every Friday